Hello, good morning friends. Welcome back once again. And you are aware the topic that we are dealing with is the rivers in India, the major rivers, or we call it the drainage system in India. And we said we can divide all the rivers in India into two categories. One is Himalayan rivers that are originating from Himalayan mountain. Another one is the peninsular rivers that is originating in the peninsular plateau and flowing into Arabian Sea and so on. So that's what we discussed in the last class and we stopped there. Now let's come to the particular rivers of the Himalaya. The Himalayan rivers, let us see one by one. So there are three rivers are there. The Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. So let us deal with the Himalayan rivers. So the major Himalayan rivers, you can take your textbook, page number 18, the Himalayan rivers. So major Himalayan rivers are the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. So Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra are the major Himalayan rivers. You can underline which are the major Himalayan rivers in Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. These rivers are long and are joined by many large and important tributaries. So as these Himalayan rivers are flowing for a long distance, they have got many tributaries, small channels coming and joining them. And a river along with tributaries may be called a river system. You can underline what is a river system. Very simple. A river along with its tributaries is called a river system. So one river and all the other small rivers coming and joining to the main river. So including all these main river and the small rivers, that is together called a river system. Now let us come to the first Himalayan river, that is the Indus. The river Indus. So the river Indus rises in Tibet. So where is it starting? It is not starting in India, it is starting in Tibet, closer to China. It is starting in Tibet. You can see in your atlas, it is starting here in Tibet and near Lake Manasarovar. So there is a lake in Tibet called Manasarovar and it is starting from there, Manasarovar. Flowing west to it enters India in the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. So from that starting point in Tibet, it is flowing towards the west and it is entering into the Jammu and Kashmir. You can see it is flowing towards the west and entering into Jammu and Kashmir. Then it will enter into Pakistan. So that is the course of this river Indus. So flowing west, it enters India in Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. So you have to remember at which district or at which point the river Indus is entering into India. It is in the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. It forms a picturesque gorge in this part. So it is forming a picturesque gorge. Picturesque means very beautiful. It is forming a very beautiful deep hole, deep and narrow hole, that is called gorge. A very beautiful gorge it is making as it is passing through India or it is entering into India. Several tributaries like Saskar, Nubra, Shyok and Khunsa join the Kashmir region. So when it is flowing through Kashmir region or Kashmir, several tributaries come and enter or join to this Indus River. Which are the tributaries joining in the Kashmir region? The names are Saskar, Nubra, Shyok and Khunsa. The Indus flows through Pakistan and Gilgit and emerges from the mountains at Attock. So after crossing the Kashmir region, Jammu and Kashmir region, it is entering into Pakistan. So it is flowing through Baltistan and Gilgit and then emerges from the mountains. So it is flowing in between the mountains, and when it is reaching the place Attock, it will emerge. Emerge means come out. It is come out of the mountain regions. The Satluj, the Bees, the Ravi and the Chenab and the Jhelum join together to enter the Indus near Mithonkot in Pakistan. So when this Indus is reaching Mithonkot, the place called Mithonkot in Pakistan, another group of rivers will come and join them. What are those rivers? Satluj, the Bees, the Ravi and the Chenab and the Jhelum. So these 5 rivers, they will join together. Then as a one river, it will come and join into the Indus. So that way Indus will become a very big river. At which place? At Pathankot in Pakistan. At Mithankot in Pakistan. Beyond this, the Indus flows southwards, eventually reaching the Arabian Sea east of Karachi. Then from Pakistan, from Mithonkot, it will flow towards east, and then finally it will reach the Arabian Sea near which place? Near Karachi. The Indus plain has very gentle slope. So the plain, when it is flowing through the plain area of Pakistan, it has got a very gentle slope, not very steep but very gentle slope. So if the slope is less, what is the problem? The flow of the river will be slow, it will not flow very fast. And with a total length of 2,900 kilometers, Indus is one of the longest rivers. So what is the length of Indus? 2,900 kilometers. That is the total length of the river Indus, starting from Tibet and entering into the Arabian Sea, ending at Arabian Sea near Karachi, east of Karachi. Then total length is 2,900 kilometers. And therefore it is one of the longest rivers of this Himalayan region. And we can also say even in this world, it is one of the longest rivers in the world. You can underline, which is the longest river of the world, the Indus, one of the longest. A little over a third of the Indus basin is located in India in the states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and the Punjab, and the rest is in Pakistan. So majority of the place or length of Indus, it is in Pakistan. Only little over a third, one third of the river Indus is flowing through India. And which are the states the Indus is touching? It is Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. So these are the only 3 states that is where this river Indus is flowing through. So one third. What is the one third? Total is 2,900. So one third means how much it will come? Almost how much? 700, maybe 1,000. Not reaching 1,000, little less than 1,000. Maybe you can say 900. Maybe some 970 kilometers it is flowing through India. Then the rest it is flowing through Pakistan. And there is a water treaty called Indus Water Treaty. It is between India and Pakistan. There is a treaty or agreement between what to do or how to do with this Indus water. So according to the regulations of the Indus Water Treaty that was made in 1960, so almost some 60 years ago, this agreement was made between India and Pakistan. So India can use only 20% of the total water carried by Indus River system. So according to this system, according to this agreement, India is allowed to use only 20% of the total water of this Indus. More than that, not allowed. The rest of the water is meant for Pakistan. And this water is used for irrigation in Punjab, Haryana and the southern and the western parts of Rajasthan. So this 20% of the water that India takes from Indus River, it is used for what? It is used for irrigating the farmland of 3 states, Punjab, Haryana and southern and western parts of Rajasthan. So these 3 states are getting irrigation facility from the waters of Indus. So that is one of the major rivers in the world, or longest rivers in the world, called Indus. I hope you understood. It is starting from Tibet and ending in the Arabian Sea near Karachi, and the length is total is 2,900 kilometers. And many tributaries are there. Some tributaries join it when it is flowing through India in the Kashmir region, and when it is entering into Pakistan at Malkot, and there are many other tributaries, big tributaries come and join it at Mithankot, not Malkot, Mithankot. Now let us come to the second river starting from Himalayan rivers. Second one is the Ganga. The Ganga River. Let us see about what the details about Ganga River. The headwaters of the Ganga, called the Bhagirathi, is fed by Gangotri Glacier and joined by Alaganta at Devprayag in Uttaranchal. So, a lot of answers are there in just one sentence. What are they? The headwaters of the Ganga called Bhagirathi. So we can underline. What is the headwaters of Ganga called? It is called Bhagirathi. It is fed by a glacier called Gangotri. You know what is glacier? A big ice field on top of the mountain. That is called glacier. We said Himalayan rivers are getting water throughout the year because of the melting of the ice. So on top of the mountains there are huge ice sheets are there. The whole area of the mountain is covered with ice. So that huge ice sheet is called glacier. So one of the big glaciers called Gangotri, it is melting and from there water comes, and that is how the river Ganga originates. And what is it called? It is called glacier called Gangotri. The name of the glacier is Gangotri. And what is the headwaters of Ganga called? Bhagirathi. And then it is joined by the Alaganta at Devprayag in Uttaranchal. So these two, the headwaters of Ganga called Bhagirathi and the water coming from the glacier Gangotri, it is glacier and joined by Alaganta, another river called Alaganta. So the Bhagirathi, the glaciers, Gangotri, it is melting and it is flowing down. Then another stream or another river is called, it is said Alaganda, and they flow down together. Then at a place called Devprayag, they are joined together. You can see in your picture, the two streams are flowing down, then it becomes one. So one is the water coming, the headwaters called Bhagirathi, another one is called Alagananda, and they join together here and become one river. So at Haridwar, the Ganga emerges from the mountains onto the plains. So long it was flowing through the mountains, and when it is reaching the place called Haridwar, it will enter into the plain. From Haridwar onwards, it is a plain region. Then the Ganga is joined by many tributaries from the Himalayas. So Ganga River also has got many tributaries, small rivers come and join it. A few of them being major rivers such as Yamuna, Gaghara, the Gandak and the Kosi. So you can underline some of the major tributaries of Ganga. What are they? One is Yamuna, another one is Gaghara, another one is Gandak and another one is Kosi. So these four major tributaries come and join the rivers Ganga. So they are all originating from Himalayan mountains. So the river Yamuna rises from Yamunotri Glacier in the Himalayas. So we said the river Ganga is originating from the glacier Gangotri. Then the tributary called Yamuna, it will come and join Ganga. So this Yamuna also is starting from another glacier, and that glacier's name is Yamunotri. So it is very easy to remember. Ganga is originating from the glacier Gangotri, and Yamuna, the tributary, is originating from a glacier called Yamunotri. So Gangotri and Yamunotri. And it flows parallel to the Ganga and as a right bank tributary meets Ganga at Allahabad. So this Yamuna tributary, it is flowing towards the parallel to the Ganga. It will flow, both of them will flow in parallel lines. Then where do they meet together? Then meets the Ganga at Allahabad. So when it reaches Allahabad, they become one. They meet together. Allahabad is the meeting point of Ganga and Yamuna. The Gaghara, the Gandak and the Kosi rise in the Nepal Himalaya. So other tributaries, they are called Gandhara, Gandhak and Kosi. They are starting from Himalaya but in the Nepal side. They start from the Nepal side, which flood parts of the northern plains. And they are the rivers which flood parts of the northern plains every year. So these tributaries, which are they? The Gandhara, the Gandak and the Kosi. So they are originating in Nepal, and during the rainy season they are flooding the entire northern plains every year, causing widespread damage to life and property, but enriching the soil for the extensive agricultural lands. So these three rivers or these three tributaries, every year during the rainy season, so much of water is coming there. It is flooded, and the rivers are flooded, and the people who are living in the northern plains, their property is damaged, their cultivation is damaged, their field is damaged, their property, even some people die in the flood. But they bring down a lot of soil, alluvium soil, and they make the northern plain very fertile for cultivation. So the property is lost, that is one disadvantage. But at the same time, the land becomes more and more fertile. The people cultivate again and they get good harvest. So there's advantage as well as disadvantage. Advantage is that the soil becomes fertile and the farmers cultivate, they get good harvest. But the disadvantage is when they plant and sometimes it is destroyed by the flood, because the water level is very high. The things that they plant sometimes get destroyed. Sometimes the life of human beings, animals, everything is destroyed. That is disadvantage. Then the main tributaries which come from peninsular uplands are Chambal, Betwa and Sun. So we said these rivers are originating from Himalaya. Then some of the tributaries are originating in this peninsular land, peninsular plateau, and they also flow towards the north and join to the Ganga. What are the tributaries starting from peninsula? Let us see. So they are the Chambal, the Betwa and the Sun. So these are the three tributaries originating from this peninsular plateau and flowing into north to join to Ganga. These rise from semi-arid areas, have shorter courses and do not carry much water in them. and find out where and how they ultimately join Ganga. So we said about three tributaries that are coming from Himalaya, which is carrying a lot of water and causing a lot of damage to the agricultural field. And these three rivers joining from the other side, that is from the peninsular plateau, they are starting from arid region. Arid means dry. They are starting from dry region. Therefore, they don't have much water to carry because there is no snow there in the peninsular plateau. It is a dry region. They get water only by monsoon rain and so on. Therefore, they do not carry much water. They are carrying very less water, and finally they join to the Ganga River. And enlarged with waters from its right and left bank tributaries, the Ganga flows eastwards till Farakka in West Bengal. So, the Ganga has got many tributaries, we said. Some join from this peninsular plateau, some join from the Himalayan mountains. So, they are becoming rich in water, and rich with this right and left bank tributaries. So some join from right, some join from the left side. And what happens then? It is flowing. Ganga River is flowing towards east till Farakka in West Bengal. So till it reaches a place in West Bengal called Farakka, and this is the northernmost point of Ganga Delta. So that place called Farakka, that's the most northernmost point of Ganga Delta. So Ganga Delta, which is bringing lot of silt, lot of alluvium soil depositing there, and it is forming a delta, a little high area, the soil deposited by the river. So that is the northernmost point. And the river bifurcates here. The Bhagirathi, Hooghly, that is a distributary, flows southwards through the deltaic plains of the West Bengal, and the main stream flows southwards into Bangladesh and is joined by the Brahmaputra. So when it is reaching this most northern point, that is in which place? We said the place name called Farakka, and when it is reaching, it is creating a very fertile delta there. But from there it is bifurcating. Bifurcating means dividing into two. So this river Ganga is divided there at the place called Farakka. And then the main river Ganga will flow in one direction, and the separated river, that is called the new branch that is formed, it is called Bhagirathi, or it is called Bhagirathi Hooghly. So that river will flow towards south side, that is in and there will create the deltaic plains in the West Bengal. So it will flow through the deltaic regions of the West Bengal, and then it will flow into the Bay of Bengal. Then the Ganga River, the original main stream, the main river Ganga, it is flowing towards southwards into Bangladesh. It will enter into Bangladesh and joined by the Brahmaputra. So it will reach Bangladesh, and there it will join together with river Brahmaputra. Then it will enter into the sea. Then further downstream, it is known as the Meghna. So when this stream is going further and further, the name is changed. People like to call the rivers in their own local dialect, in local places. So it is called Meghna. The mighty river, with waters from the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, flows into the Bay of Bengal. And the delta formed by these rivers is known as Sundari Delta. So when towards the end these two rivers are joined together, Ganga is joined with Brahmaputra. So two mighty rivers are joined. We can see the amount of water suddenly increases. Both are big rivers, and when these two big rivers are joined, the water becomes double. So the huge river, it becomes a very huge river. And with waters from Ganga and Brahmaputra flows into the Bay of Bengal. So these two rivers join together, Ganga and Brahmaputra, and what is it known as? It's a Meghna. When after joining these two together, downside, when it becomes one river, that is called Meghna, and then it becomes a very huge river, and then it will go into Bay of Bengal, and it is creating a lot of delta. It is creating delta, agricultural land, that is called Sundarban Delta. Sundarban Delta. You must have heard about Sundarban forest in West Bengal. When we are studying about the forest, you must have learned about it. So it is Sundarban forest where these tigers are sheltered. That is the habitat of Indian tigers. So there is little general knowledge is there about Sundarban. The Sundarban Delta derived its name from Sundari tree which grows well in marshland. So there is another tree called Sundari tree, and these trees are growing very well in the marshland. Marshland means wetland, where the water is always stagnant remaining. So those places, these Sundari trees are growing very well. So that delta is known as Sundarban Delta. So along this tree or nearby this tree, there is a delta region, and by the soil deposited by this river Ganga, and that area becomes very fertile for cultivation. That is called Sundarban Delta. And nearby the trees are growing, and those trees are called Sundari trees. So since these Sundari trees are nearby, this delta is called Sundarban. And it is the world's largest and the fastest growing delta. It is also the home of Royal Bengal tiger. So we can underline that this delta, Sundarban Delta, is the fastest growing delta in the world. So because of this Ganga River bringing a lot of alluvial soil, it is going on depositing, and the delta is becoming bigger and bigger. The area is becoming bigger and bigger. So it is growing very fast. That means it is carrying a lot of soil because of the force of the water. It is able to bring a lot of water. So let us learn that Sundarban's delta is the world's fastest growing delta, and it is also the home of Royal Bengal tiger. I said in the Sundarbans or in the Sundarban Delta region, the tiger, Bengal is very famous for Indian tiger, and they are sheltering them. It is a habitat of these tigers. And the length of the Ganga is 2,500 kilometers. This one Indus River said 2,900. So this is 400 kilometers less or short. Ganga is 400 kilometers shorter than Indus. And look at figure 3.4. Can you identify the type of drainage pattern formed by the Ganga River system? So if you look at that map of India, you will find the river Ganga is flowing. You can see the Ganga, so many tributaries are there: Yamuna, Sarda, then Gaghara, Gandak, Kosi, and so on. So some tributaries are flowing down from Himalayan region, and from peninsular region some rivers are flowing there. So what kind of pattern are they forming? We learned in the last class 4 types of pattern. Some are in the shape of flower or tree branches, some are in the shape of right angle, some are in the shape of rectangle, and so on. So you can identify what kind of pattern are they forming here, what kind of shape are they forming there. Then Ambala is located on the water divide between the Indus and the Ganga river systems. We learned that also in the last class. What is a water divide? It is a highland or an upland where the flow of water is divided. So it is a highland, and from here water will flow this side, and water will flow from here to this side. So that is a highland. So which is the highland, or which is a water divide that is dividing the plains or the Indus and the Ganga river systems, is called Ambala, the place in Ambala. So the plains from Ambala to the Sundarban stretch over 1,800 kilometers. So the plain area, we said Sundarban is the fastest growing delta in the world. So this delta is becoming longer and longer every year because of the soil that is brought by the river. So at present it is 1800 kilometers long. But the fall in its slope is hardly 300 meters. So the slope, it is very less. If you take from the highest place or from the northern side to the southern side, the slope is only just 300 meters. And in other words, there is a fall of just 1 meter for every 6 kilometers. So when it is flowing for 6 kilometers, the slope is only just 1 meter. That is very slow. Water will flow very slow because the slope is very slow. The slope is very less. Therefore, it will go on depositing the soil. If the river is flowing very fast, then it will not deposit much soil. It will carry the soil into the Arabian Sea. Since the slope is very less, it is carrying not much. It is depositing on the side and the water is flowing slowly. And in other words, there is a fall of just 1 meter for every 6 kilometers. Therefore, the river develops large meanders. What is meanders? It is a turning meanders. So, since the slope is very less, the flow of the water is very slow. Therefore, it does not flow very fast. Therefore, anywhere to some, it is slants here and there. It is turning a lot of meanders. Meanders means turnings. The river turns here and there. It is not flowing straight because of the lack of speed, because of the lack of slope in that region. So that is the end of this description about the Ganga River. So you read again and understand, learn nicely about the different names of the tributaries, the place where it is turning, where it is forming delta, what is the height, what is the length of this delta, and so on. So learn nicely. And about the Brahmaputra, which is very close to us, very famous in our region in the northeast, let us learn in the next class. So till that time, you listen to the class, then also read your textbook several times and try to grasp the meaning, the answers all properly. So have a nice time, study well.